Hey guys, this is Patrick. So I'm about to play a 15-minute game, 15-10 on Lichess. Let's see what happens. See if we can get a game. There it is. Alright, so let's see who we've got. So let's play c4, the English. So if he advances with d5, I'll take it and then play d4 myself. And then I don't know if I'll want to play g3, bishop g2, or play bishop f4, e3, bishop d3. Let me try bishop f4. I'll develop the knight first, see if he plays c5, oops, c5 or knight at c6 instead. Alright, so let me do the bishop f4, e3, bishop d3 plan. If he plays bishop f5, then I'll have to consider what to do with this one. Alright, I always forget about this pin when I play this with the, the exchange here, or the exchange and then bishop f4. Because then the problem is that knight to e4 is coming. I could kick the bishop with a3. And then let's say a3. So a3, he takes, I take back, and then he could play knight e4, and then I could protect the pawn. That's not too bad. Or even just e3, knight to e4, and then rook to c8 works, to c1 works, doesn't it? And then you could have some queen a5 business, a3, takes, and then I would lose a pawn. So let me kick the bishop. Alright. Actually, this is not too bad. If he plays knight to e4, I can play queen to b3. Alright. Alright, so do I continue with... So one thing's for sure is that he's ruled out rook to b1, attacking this pawn. I could play now queen to b3 and force him to deal with this one before I go on and play e3 and bishop e2 at this point probably. So let's say queen to b3, then he has to protect the pawn somehow. Queen to b6 forces me to do something because the queen would be undefended here. And I don't want to take, and then he has the open a-file, or semi-open a-file, for his rook. So if I play queen to b3, maybe I should wait on this one. Now he might also consider, the problem is that, next he might consider queen to a5, which is uncomfortable. Uh, what about queen b3, queen b6, knight d2? Does that work or no? Oh, I also have bishop takes. Once the queen have moved, so that he has to move the rook away from the a file. Because again, the threat would be queen a5 right now. Oh, and then I could play queen to b3. You could play queen to b3 himself and then gain play on the queen side. So let me rule that out. I'm going to have to develop my king side, so... And for this, I have to move the e-pawn at some point. And for now, only e3 is available. So there it is. So I could play queen takes, a takes, and then rook takes, or bishop takes, to force the queen off of the a file. Is it useful? I mean, that bishop is not doing much, and then I could play e3, and this bishop is kind of sad. Oh, and then I could play c4 eventually. He would castle. That's fine. He doesn't have a dark squared bishop, so parting with my dark squared bishop doesn't, you know, give back as much as if he did have a dark squared bishop. Alright, so let me do this, and then I'll play e3. Just double checking to make sure everything's on the dark square, so this bishop for now can't do much. He can play knight to e4, and I think I'll just push with c4. If he plays knight to e4, I could play bishop to d3, I think. But he could play knight to g3, but I don't think that would amount to much. His knight would be trapped. In any case, it's a moot point. So that's a good move, actually, because now if he plays, if he plays knight to e4, I can't push with c4. So how do I meet this? Or, you know, see, the problem is if he plays knight to e4, I play rook to c1, but then he can play rook to a8, and this pawn's attacked. So maybe he's going to force me to play knight to d2 first to prevent knight to e4. Or if he plays, I can just take it. Could I push the bishop away with knight h4? That seems like a waste of a move because this bishop, it's active now, but all the pawns for on the queen side at least are on light square, so I don't know that I'm... let's see, I like this square though for the knight, so knight to d2 would give up on using it for now. Yeah, he's got a grip on this square, which sucks for me. I'm never gonna get it back unless I play a4. There's no time for this now, is there? There might be, actually. So let's say I play a4. Oh, then he, then he just has rook a1. And then the pawns attack and pin, and then he'll get knight to e4, and so that's pretty bad. So let me prevent knight to e4. This is too bothersome. So I don't like this pawn. This pawn's backward, and then you know, there's no hope of ever pushing it for now. So I don't know what to do about that one. That seems like a wasted move for now. I'll take it. So how do I deal with this? It's not a wasted move because one way to get out of it would be to play a4, but now it's taken care of. I could try, you know, it takes time to do, but I could try f3 and e4. That doesn't even work for now. It's just too slow. So what should I do? Just castle, or what about some knight maneuvers like knight here, here, and then that seems fine too. Well, it is annoying. I could unpin the pawn. I don't know if there's, you know, I should just develop in castle. All right, let me do this. All right, I've got word that the stream is working. Cheers to that. All right. So I still don't know. I still haven't figured out what to do with this pawn. So instead of castling, he brought his king there. Now there's maneuvers like knight here to here or knight here to here. Let's say he can get knight e4 in. This pawn would be attacked, and then this pawn is also attacked. If I, you know, so I can't defend it with the rook. So knight e4 is annoying. I could play f3 and then castle, or just castle and eventually f3 to free my knight and see what he does. Connect the rooks. And if I play f3, it's taking this square away from the knight. Because he might play... No, that would be fine. You know, he might be doubling rook soon, meaning that this pawn would be in trouble. And he's only a few moves away from doing this, so let's say rook here and rook here, so he's 2 moves away from attacking this pawn, and at this point the pawn is gone because knight to b1, he can just take it. So I need to do something in the next 2 moves to protect this pawn or advance it. So let's say I play something weird like bishop d1, and then let's say he does this, I push, and then unfortunately he's got this move. And the pawn is still attacked too many times and still pinned. It is difficult, so I might have to give it up, but I don't know how to give it up. Is there a way to block the file? There's no way to block the file. This is difficult. You know, the only places where this knight can protect this pawn is from these 2 light squares, and this guy protects them. And I still can't play this because the pawn would be lost, because the square is defended by these 2 pieces. So it's I might lose this pawn. And I don't know what to do about it. What about the king? Is it anywhere close to defending it? It's not. It's 3 moves away. So do I have time? I do have time, don't I? That might be the only way to defend the pawn. He doesn't have knight there because I defended once my king moves. Alright, so let me go to the defense of the pawn. I don't see... I think the pawn's a goner if I don't do it, so... Let me know in the chat if I'm wrong. Not now, because it might be cheating. Well, now see this square was because now I could move with tempo. I don't know if there's any you know, reason for me to force this move because I don't think there is. Uh, and so my guess is I'll just play king to c1 to b2 again. And he might actually play b6 himself without me forcing it because he might want to get c5 in. And then, oh, also if I do this, then he's got this move, so... Alright. So not a great start, you know, but working towards saving the day, working hard. My bishop is better than his in some ways, not always. I'm behind on time quite a bit. Thank God for the increment. So there's a 10-second increment. And you know, as I said, you know, this constellation of pawn is quite good because I can't even think of playing knight to b3 because he'll just play b6. Let me not waste too much time there. I don't know what that move is about. He might want now to play some sort of knight maneuver, at which point, that takes a lot of time, 3 moves, at which point I would have just the bishop d1, and there's not much that you can do to defend against it. So I think now I have time to think about what I want to do. If he plays b6, you know, c5, I don't have to do anything for it now. So now would be a good time to start thinking about what I want to do to counteract what he's doing. If he's planning knight d, he would free my knight, but my knight doesn't have much to do. If it ever shows up there, you know, it's losing control of this square. It's losing control of this square because it's blocking the bishop, and he can just play c6 or f6. Once the knight is here, if he plays f6, I can't even use either of the 2 squares I was headed for. So this is difficult. This pawn is very annoying. This, for now, is under control. So what can I do that would be active? All of his pieces are here, and he's planning on the queen side, and he's planning on chipping the other one there. So I could try to play on this side of the board. So maybe now f3, because I just said, you know, this knight's not going to go there. Oh, and then if he plays, then I have this move. And then I could gain the open file there. That is a lot of activity if I can get it in. Alright, let me try it. And then he might not play a knight to d7 at all, just because of the threat of e4. But we'll see. Because, you know, frankly, if he does play... oh, I guess he could leave the knight there and play b6 and c4. Still not a concern, though. Oh, well, he didn't have to play knight to d7, did he? So I think my knight is going to be relegated to the back rank for now. And then the king could march again, maybe, if I'm tempted. I could also sacrifice the pawn at this point because this is getting. So let's say takes, and then probably knight takes. I don't have to take the knight. And so I could play... This file's open. This knight is attacked. Oh, and the rook is x-raying this bishop. That's not good. Oh boy. Oh, you know what? If I can... Maybe I could attack the bishop and then the knight and then play e4. Oh, you know what? He can just take. And then this bishop is attacked. And then let's say b4, rook takes. I could throw in the in-between move. He doesn't even have to capture. He can just play rook there so that he can take back with check. Then I guess I could defend. Oh, yeah. Oh, I'm losing a bishop because then he could retreat, and this bishop is pinned. So this doesn't even work. So b4 or g4 doesn't work unless I want to sacrifice this pawn that way. Oh, this bishop is useless. Well, I can never hope to sacrifice here because of rook here. My king, you know, is there. So why did I stop looking at this? So takes, takes, probably knight takes, and then this knight is attacked. I would have to move it somewhere, or take. And then he would probably take with the bishop. He doesn't even have to take with the bishop. Oh, he kind of has because of this bishop and bishop d3. I'm going to have to play faster. So knight to f1 for now safeguards all of the pawns, but it's very delicate. How do I ever hope to activate my rook now? Maybe b4, rook, you know, even if I play rook g... Oh, you know what? I could play rook g1, and instead of shooting for rook to g3, I could play rook to g2. At least protecting this bishop a little bit. If he ever retreats his rook, he can no longer double the rook, so my king would be free to go back and try to help on the defense of the e3 pawn. Well, it's not looking good, and then look at the time. I mean, I was dreading either of these moves. Actually, I could play king to c1 because if he doubles, then I can just go back. And if he doesn't, I can leave my king there, hoping to throw in king to d2 when appropriate. But for now, so he's defended against g4, which is I think it's a good move. What else can I do? Maybe just rook to e8, to e1. That's probably a faster. Let's say this. Is there anything better I can do on the queen, on the queen side? I guess the king side. Because if I do this, I would need to retreat this bishop, but then that would block the NC, and this bishop can only move on this diagonal. Alright, let me try king to c1. Yeah, maybe rook e1 was better, probably more natural anyway. At least, but you know this bishop is not going to move anytime soon, not off of this diagonal. Alright, so I basically have 10 seconds per move now, so you know, it doesn't really matter because my position is not bad. So do I dread this? Not really. Actually, that would be good. Oh, actually, now g4. He's just opened the door for this, so I'll do it. Because now he can take, but I'll just take this way. My rook will be active suddenly. Let me get this one in. And then I can even... Oh, my bishop is blocked. So he still, you know, has the threat of this, so I need to keep my king there. Oh, I could... This is not a bad move. It's defending the bishop, and somehow if I can get 2 moves to move these pieces out of the way, which I just might now. No, I won't. Well... Oh, I see. He'll get... Oh, so he'll get the pawn now. Oh, he might not, no. So now I'll be able to free this rook. Knight here is coming. E4 if he ever moves back to this. He can never try to control E4 because I can take. So now I think he might have made a slight mistake. This diagonal is blocked, so he's no hope of doing this. Oh. That's an annoying move. But I think I can just do this. And then my guess is... Well, now I can still play knight here, can't I? And then if I need to ever block the bishop, I can play this. This pawn is attacked twice indirectly for now, and it's defended twice. See, and now e4 is coming. Now it is the case that the pawn is pinned. Oh, you know what? I miscalculated. I guess I forgot about something, but I'm losing that pawn. Let me see if there's something I can do to save it. Not right this instant. And there's not even a hope of putting my rook there, and once the bishop moves of discoveries because his king is on a dark square. So I lost a pawn. Oh, I can gain it back. No, because this bishop is undefended for now. I could try this, takes, and then he would have to probably advance. And then I could play rook here, I guess. Let me try it. I probably shouldn't have parted with my light squared bishop, because then he's got these moves. But you know, with the time and the pawn. You know, with this opening, I always forget about the... Oh boy. Alright, well. Let me keep the knight in the center at least. I guess I don't care. In hindsight, I don't care about that pawn too much. Oh, and then once I move here, you know, he's going to take with check. Once I move here, oh, I guess he can win this pawn. But also, as soon as this knight moves, he's threatening rook takes a3 check. Is there a way? He might have made a mistake here, because there's no way on this file on this rank where you can stay. Oh, you can go there, I guess. And then can I play here? And then that's it. I don't have anything better after this. So he's gonna play rook h3. And then if I play here, then he's got this move, and so I think I'll throw in the towel for this one. So let me show you what I was going to say. I forget, you know, this opening with the exchange English. Let me decline this. With the exchange English, I always forget that when I take and he pins the knight here, this bishop would be needed on c1 so that I can develop it with bishop d2 instead of bishop f4, because he's always got knight to e4 coming. And you know, here, yeah, see, this pawn is always a problem. Did I try? See here, if I could have gotten c4 in, that would have been fine, but he played correctly. He played queen to b6. So then I didn't have time. I think that's fine. And here I did threaten c4, but he blocked it, and then it was all lost. So there's something I did wrong for sure. Let's see if he started a... So he did start a computer analysis. You know, maybe I should just refrain. I didn't used to play, you know, maybe just d4 like the computer recommends. So maybe just d4 and transpose into a queen's gambit. Otherwise, I used to play, way back when, I used to play b3. It's got agent court defense, it's got a name, so it's somewhat legitimate. b3, but then, you know, you get into d4 and then either c4 and eventual c5 and eventual e5. So it's difficult, and if I recall correctly, that's why I stopped playing it. I don't think you need to fear when you play this agent court thing with b3. I don't think you need to fear d takes. Actually, let's look at the... You know, if you're on Lichess, it's got this opening book, and you can select either from Lichess games, so with a filter for the ratings, or or the time control category. So here, if you look at mine, the way I set it up, when I look at the Lichess database, I choose only the ratings for, you know, starting at 2200, and then only in the Blitz and Classical categories. But typically I like the Masters games, and if you see here, they wrote it's 2 million OTB games, FIDE players rated 2200 or more. So that's the book I use. So let's see, d5, and then g3 is the top move, d4 is the second top move, and I played c takes. Oh, so it is rare, so it is not very... and then I play d5 or d4. That's always what I play, but I guess c black already has a good, at least statistics for this opening. So here, I guess we did transpose into another opening because there's more games now. What did I play here? Knight to c3, that's the top move. c6 top move. Bishop g5 is the top move. Bishop f4, which is what I played, is the computer move. Bishop f4 is a... oh, see, it's a 13% win for white. So bishop g4 is the best move. It looks like queen to c2 is the best try by the database. Maybe queen to c2 next time. At least queen to c2. If he plays bishop here, even now bishop to d2 would be fine. Yeah, so bishop f4 I don't like, I guess. What about bishop g5 is the top move and by a distance. So let's see if black plays bishop to b4. Queen to c2 again is the top move. Queen b3. It's also, at least it scores well, 71% wins for white. And then I guess queen to b6 is not even one of the moves. And then queen to c2 was the top move here. Yeah, so, you know, recapturing with the pawn, let's see what I played. You know, the situation where you recapture with the pawn, I guess, is a mistake. Because I was defending the whole time, and you know, I saw it coming from a distance. I was preparing c4, and once I could not prepare for c4, I was already trying to defend. You know, when he showed his plan of trying to double up on the A file. Already I was preparing the king run to defend that pawn. And then I'm sure I made a few mistakes here, but to me the main mistake was the recapturing with the c pawn. So I think if there's no comments, my guess is this is it for me. Not my best, you know, not my best showing, if that's a word. But thank you for watching. Let me know if you have comments, of course. And eventually I'll be posting this on YouTube. So if you find it on YouTube, of course, leave a comment there also. And otherwise, thanks for watching. And see you next time.